Good afternoon po. Good afternoon again to our attendees. Welcome po to the second part of this webinar series titled Teaching Physics Using Toys, wherein we feature toys that were and are still popular with Filipino children, and we discuss how we can use them to teach science. Again, let me just introduce yung source book natin, which is the Science and Mathematics of Toys, printed and published by UP Smith, wherein there are 16 toys in this book. So for each toy, meron pong introduction, making the toy, playing with the toy, curriculum entry points, and so on and so forth. So far, what we have discussed in this webinar series are the following: the groaning tube, magic slate, and pickup sticks. Okay, so today we will be discussing these toys, the paper plane, kite, and bamboo propeller. So, which are toys that we can make using simple materials. Again, the objectives of this webinar are as follows. So, at the end of the webinars, the participants should be able to acquaint themselves with a variety of toys that can be used to teach particular science and mathematics concepts. Also, we want to motivate our teachers to adapt and enrich the suggested learning activities and develop additional lessons using other toys. So based po dun sa first episode or first part ng webinar series na to, medyo madami na pong teachers ang may experience actually sa pagtuturo gamit ang toys. So let me just share you some of the ideas that was shared during the first part of the episode. Sabi po ni Ma'am Manolita, we can use yo-yo to discuss or to teach the concept of gyroscopic effect. In addition to that, Ma'am Manolita, we can also use yo-yo to discuss or to teach the concept of conservation of mechanical energy and momentum. Sabi rin po ni Ma'am Manolita, we can use water rocket to teach our students the concept of Newton's third law. So for grade level 10, ayan, sabi naman po ni Sir John Arnold Francisco, we can use remote control toy car to introduce the concept of radio waves to our students. Since po yung mga remote control car utilizes radio waves to communicate with the car. Sabi naman po ni Sir Bimbo Galit, we can use slinky and jump rope to demonstrate the concept of longitudinal waves and transverse waves respectively. So apart from that, pwede din po yung laser pointer for reflection and refraction, that is under grade 10 physics, electromagnetism or electromagnetic waves. Apart from dun sa mga nabibiling toys, we can also make toys. Sabi ni Ma'am Hazeline, improvise boat using rubber band and stick to make a propeller. So, yun po, pwede natin gamitin yun to discuss or to teach Newton's third law of motion. Pwede rin pong gumamit ng cans to convert it to a telephone toy, sabi ni Ma'am Aljen. So, to discuss the concept of sounds. In a way, we are resourceful in this way, and we also can help in recycling. Meron din pong nag-share ng kanilang personal experience. Yun po, instead of buying a balancing bird toy, sabi po ni Sir Gerald, yung tatay po niya, ginawan po siya ng improvised version using spoon, fork, and a matchstick. Okay, so if you have your own stories or experiences in teaching or learning with toys, you can share that to your fellow attendees. So please type your stories or experiences in the comments box so that other teachers can gain knowledge about teaching or learning with toys. So let me just share my own story. Nung grade 10 po ako, grade 10, that's 4th year high school, my physics teacher required the class for us to make a balloon-powered car. So basically, yung frame niya po ay car, tapos meron pong balloon on top of that. Then we blow the balloon, and then the balloon will basically propel the car. So ang concept po na dinidiscuss doon, if I remember, is Newton's third law of motion. Actually, nagkaroon din po ng contest kung sino po yung nakagawa ng car na mas na nakapag-travel ng pinaka malayo, yun po yung mananalo. So, as I remember, we enjoyed the class, and also we learned a lot from that activity. So yun po, you can share your stories and experiences in the comment box. If we have time, babalikan po natin yan. So we will acknowledge po yung mga stories nyo or experiences that you will share in the comment section. Okay, so there are many benefits of using toys. At na-discuss ko na po to sa part 1, that toys can pique students' interest, can generate enthusiasm among students. Using toys, we can facilitate, or the students can become the teacher by demonstrating how the toy is played. But I want to highlight is that in this slide is that toy making can develop students' creativity, especially when we ask them to design a toy that can achieve a certain purpose. So for example, yun po dun sa balloon powered toy car, dun po sa binanggit ko kanina, pwedeng yung pag-design po dun is based on the materials used. Ano yung gagamitin? Ano yung design to reduce air resistance? Ano yung balloon na gagamitin? Ano yung yan. So, pwedeng mag-spark po ng creativity yan among our students. So, I also wanted to highlight yung toy making kasi for this session, I will be discussing the toys that can be made using simple materials. And let's start with the bamboo propeller. Okay? So, let me just ask you, sino na po yung may experience sa paglalaro ng bamboo propeller dito? Or may experience na sa pagtuturo gamit ang bamboo propeller, or may experience na sa paggamit or paglaro nito. Actually, meron din, alam ko din po itong toy na to. So, a bamboo propeller is a simple yet entertaining toy, especially to children. A propeller, which is made of bamboo, is attached to the handle, as shown on the figure. On the left figure, so you can see ito po yung handle, and then ito po yung wings ng propeller. Ito po yung handle, and then ito po yung wings ng propeller. And then we make the propeller fly when we spin it fast enough. Although the commercial versions are no longer made of bamboo, the working principle is still the same. And we will discuss that later on. Okay, so how to make the toy? So here are the materials you can use to basically make the toy. So first is a flat piece of bamboo, then barbecue stick, and then a cutter to carve down the piece of bamboo. So the dimension of the bamboo is 15 centimeter by 2 centimeter and 4 millimeter. So the thickness is 4 millimeter. That is, kapag may pinagpatong po kayong dalawang popsicle sticks, ganun po yung thickness na desired natin. Yung 15 centimeter is kasing haba po ng isang ball pen. At yung 2 cm is kasing lapad ng piso. Mas maliit ng konti sa piso. Okay, so that's the dimension of the materials. The flat piece of bamboo. If you want to make a bamboo propeller out of it. So if you don't have a flat piece of bamboo, may mahanap po sa mga bookstore na popsicle sticks like this. Mineasure ko po halos 15 cm, halos 2 cm yung lapad. Yung thickness is just 2 millimeters. So in order to achieve a 4 millimeter thickness, you can just glue two popsicle sticks together, and then leave it overnight maybe para po mas secured or mas sturdy yung pagkakadikit. Okay? So once you have the materials, ganito po yung paggawa. So first is you mark the center of the bamboo stick and make a hole so that the barbecue stick fits tightly. So the hole is para po dun po ilalagay yung handle. Then measure 1 centimeter on each side of the hole and mark this with lines. So just like this. So once you have marked your bamboo stick, you use the cutter to carve the bamboo to a wedge shape. Okay? So alam mo naman po natin kung ano yung shape ng wedge. Meron siyang thicker side at saka thinner side. So say for example, in this side, you have the thicker side and the other side is thin side. So once you've done with the one side of the propeller, of the bamboo stick rather, you do the same dun sa other end. However, you do it in the opposite manner. So say for example, you have a thicker side here and then a thinner side here. So yung kabila po ay thinner side and then thicker side. Okay, so you have wedges facing opposite facing opposite to each other. Okay, this one is facing here and this one is facing in that direction. Okay, so once you have two wedges connected by this part, the next thing to do is to trim. Okay, so from wedge, gagawin nating plane na nakatilt. Okay, so basically po, kapag meron kunyari ito po yung dalawang sides, ang mangyayari is you have one side tilted in this way and then the other side tilted in that way. So, opposite to one another. So, from wedges, kailangan i-trim into a plane. So, make it as lightweight as possible kasi kailangan po yun para makapag-lift tayo. Kasi kung mabigat, baka hindi po lumit. Then lastly, insert the handle and glue the propeller to the handle. So, once you've done with that, you have a bamboo propeller. How to play with the toy. So, alam naman na po natin yan. To send the propeller spinning and flying in the air, we just put the handle of the propeller in between our hands and then we quickly slide our hands past each other so that to introduce spin to our bamboo propeller. So kapag mag-spin na po yung bamboo propeller, we can release it and then doon na po magka-fly yung bamboo propeller. So anong grade level po pwede natin itong ituro? So as per the K-12 curriculum, we can teach this in grade levels 8 and 12 under the contents lift, Bernoulli principle, Newton's third law of motion. So yung Bernoulli's principle for grade 12 po yan, senior high school. And for grade 8 naman, yun po yung Newton's third law of motion, which is the law of action, reaction, or law of interaction as per the curriculum. So the content standards are as follows. So Newton's three laws of motion, then Bernoulli's principle. The performance standard is to develop a written plan and implement a Newtonian Olympics. So here are the K-12 learning competencies. The competencies that are highlighted with light orange highlight are the most essential learning competencies. So basically in this part, yung learning competencies po ay also learning competencies are also the most essential learning competencies. So first is to infer that when a body exerts a force on another, an equal amount of force is exerted back on it. Okay, so that's basically the Newton's third law of motion. The second one is apply Bernoulli's principle whenever appropriate to infer relation involving the pressure, elevation, speed, and flux. So that's under grade 12. The skills you can develop with your students here, with the learning activities here, are observing, comparing, inferring, and also predicting. So ito po yung suggested teaching process. Similar po to sa diniscuss ko last dun sa part 1, except that I introduced this part. So before letting your students have fun with the toy and explore the way it works, you can organize a toy making activities with your students. Okay? So siguro 30 minutes or a meeting for them to make a toy. So let them decide ano yung mga materials. But of course, as a precautionary measure, since gumagamit po sila ng cutter, dapat meron po silang supervision from their teachers. Okay, so after that, we let our student explain how to use the toy or how to play with the toy. So in this way, the students become the teacher. Then after that, you proceed or we proceed to the activity proper. Again, you can modify this suggested teaching process based on what you think is best for your students. So in explaining the flight or the science behind bamboo propeller, you can use either the Bernoulli's principle. So if you're a senior high school teacher, Bernoulli's principle yung po yung pwede nyong gamitin. But if you're sa junior high school po, grade 8, you can use yung Newton's third law of motion. Okay? And may separate activities for that as suggested by the book Teaching Science and Mathematics of Toys. So let's start first with Bernoulli's principle. Mamaya na po yung Newton's laws of motion. Okay? So for the Bernoulli's principle, here are the materials you need to use or that are needed for the activities. So first is index card and the second one is a strip of paper. So if you don't have index card, you can use yung page ng notebook po ninyo. Pwede rin po yun. Trinay ko po, pwede rin po yun. And kapag wala pong strip of paper, you can have a piece of tissue paper with it, as long as it is lightweight po. So any paper that is lightweight. So kung meron po kayong paper dyan, ayan, pwede nyo pong gawin yung activity na to while listening to this webinar. Okay? So the first activity is titled The Pressure Exerted by Moving Air. So if you have index card, actually I found more success kung kapag gagamit po ng notebook page po ng notebook. So any paper po, lightweight paper, you can do this activity. So fold the index card as shown below, then blow air through the paper. Okay, and then I will ask you what happened to the index card. So if you have paper po sa tabi nyo, you can fold that as shown in this figure and then blow air into through the paper. So do not blow air directly at the paper. Dapat po below the paper. Sabi po ni Ma'am Mikay Dordas, for General Physics 1 po, pwede pong gamitin yun for Bernoulli's principle. So anyway po, yan. I'll give you a minute or so to do this activity. Kasi paper lang naman po at saka hihipan nyo. And then, what happened to the index card or the paper? So, kunyari kung may notebook page po kayo, ganito po yung gawin nyo. Ito po yung paper. So, you fold it like that, like this. And then, you blow air in, below the paper. Okay? Or through the paper. Kapag kayo po yung perform ng activity, what do you think will happen to the index card? Specifically, itong part po na ito. Itong part ng paper, yung nasa top. Ano pong mangyayari sa index card? Be careful po na dapat po yung pag-blow natin ng air, hindi po na-blow yung mismong part na ito. So, pag mag-blow po tayo, dito lang po sa baba. Okay, so the answer po, mukhang madami na po. The answer is, it will bend downward. Okay, so, yan, pababa. Tama po yan, bababa po siya. Okay, so the explanation to that is, can be explained. That phenomenon can be explained using Bernoulli's principle. Okay, so the key concept here is yung moving air exerts less pressure than still air. Okay, since yung air below the paper is moving, kasi naglo-blow tayo ng air po dito, so the pressure below is less than the pressure above. Okay, so mas malaki po yung pressure above than below. So what we have here is a pressure difference. Okay, so if we have a pressure difference, we generate a net force directed towards the region of lower pressure. Ano po yung lower pressure? Doon po sa baba. Kasi po, moving po yung air. Okay? That's why, ang observation po dapat dyan ay it will bend downward. Actually, when you conduct this, when you perform this activity, medyo ano po siya, nagba-vibrate po siya. Pero ang main movement po niya is bababa siya, tapos babalik dun sa straight na position. Okay? So, magbe-bend siya, tapos babalik, magbe-bend, babalik. But basically, yun po yung point, that it will bend downward. Okay? So, yun po yung Bernoulli's principle, that moving air exerts less pressure than still air. So, kapag may mga ganito pong scenario, you determine kung saan po yung pressure na mas mababa. Okay? Kung saan po yung mas pressure na mas mababa, doon po papunta yung force. Okay? Yun po. You can do that as well with a strip of paper. So, try nyo pong kumuha ng tissue paper. So, dalawa. Mga dalawang tissue, dalawang ply. So, get a long strip of paper. Hold it on one end as shown on the right. Okay? And then blow air above the loose end of the paper that you are holding. Magot. And mukhang tama naman po lahat, no? So, the paper will go up, will be lifted. So, i-ano ko lang po. This is tissue. Ayan, umaangat po siya, as you can see. So, it looks counterintuitive kasi, di ba, we're blowing air into the paper. So, dapat parang bababa siya. But ang na-observe po natin is umaangat siya. So, saan po nanggagaling yung force? Kasi ang observation here is it will go up. So, dapat may net force upward. So, it seems counterintuitive but may physics po behind that. Okay? So, ang answer po dyan is the loose end was lifted. And the key concept again is yung Bernoulli's principle wherein if the air is moving, there is less pressure. Okay? So, yun po. So, as we blow air po dito sa part na ito, nagkakaroon po ng lower pressure because of this Bernoulli's principle. So, lower pressure, higher pressure, pressure difference results to net force that is directed towards the region of lower pressure. Hence, the net force is upward. And that net upward force is called lift. Okay? Lift po yung tawag dyan. So, ito po yung illustration for that, that the pressure above is less than the pressure below because may moving air po dyan. So, there's a pressure difference and then magka-create po ng lift, upward force. That's why we observe the paper being lifted. So, just to formally define yung Bernoulli's principle, ito po yung Bernoulli's principle. Within a horizontal flow of fluid, points of higher fluid speed will have less pressure than points of lower fluid speed. So that's basically in layman's term, ito po yun. Moving air exerts less pressure than still air. In equation form, ito po yung equation niya, where the P's are the pressure in regions A and B, and yung V are the fluid velocities. Okay, so and they are equal. So say for example, you have higher velocity, so which means this is smaller. For them to be equal, this should be smaller and this should be higher kasi nga smaller, small, high, high, small. So ganun po yung relationship. So there's an inverse relationship between the speed and the pressure, the fluid speed and the pressure. So how do you use that in explaining the flight of bamboo propeller? Again, ang makikita po ng mga bata ay magkakaroon ng lift. Kasi nga, umaangat po yung bamboo propeller. So if there's a lift, this means that the pressure above the propeller is low. And that means there is a high, the velocity of the air here is higher than the velocity of air below. Okay, so again, you have a difference in pressure, lower pressure above, higher pressure below. So this pressure difference creates or generates the lift. Okay, so that's for Bernoulli's principle. Paano naman po dun sa grade 8 na gumagamit ng Newton's laws of motion? Specifically, the Newton's third law of motion. Okay, so hindi nyo na po ito magagawa kasi wala po kayong bamboo propeller. Pero kung may bamboo propeller po kayo dyan, you can do this as well. So hold the toy properly between your hands. Give it a quick clockwise spin or counterclockwise kung counterclockwise spin po yung bamboo propeller na nabili nyo. Give it a spin but do not release it. Okay, so feel the air blown on the back of your hand. So dito po na part. So habang ni-spin po nyo yung bamboo propeller, feel the air on the back of your hand. And then, you can ask your students how did the downward motion of air generate. Okay? So, ang main observation po dito ay may mafe-feel kang air on the back of your hand. So, what that means is, this is the key concept, what that means is, air is diverted downward. Kasi as you spin the bamboo propeller, may air kang nafe-feel sa palm, sa back of your hand. So, ibig sabihin, may air pababa. Okay? Air is diverted downward. So, you can use that key concept to explain the flight or the science behind bamboo propeller using the concept of Newton's third law of motion, which is the law of action-reaction. Okay? So, if you remember, ang law of action-reaction is for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Okay? So, yun po. So, a wing works by diverting air downwards. So, the downward motion is known as downwash. So, since meron pong downward motion ng air, yung air nakaka-experience po ng downward force. Okay? Kasi nga, and the manifestation of that is yung downwash. May flow of air downwards, so which means my net force or my force acting on the air directed towards the ground. Okay, so that's the action. Ano yung reaction? Yung reaction comes from the air then. So the air reacts by pulling the wing up. And that's how you generate lift. Okay, so yun po. Basically, for Newton's third law of motion, you just need to recognize that the air experiences a downward motion, and that is manifested in this activity, okay, or demonstrated in this activity. My downward flow of airflow, my downward airflow, and that is the downwash. So, may na-experience na force yung air, and as a reaction, yung air, pinupull niya yung propeller upward. So, yun yung lift. Okay? So, there's another bullet here. The amount of lift on the wing is proportional to the change in momentum of air that is diverting it. So, you can show this by having an experiment. So, say for example, try to have a gentle spin. So, and then observe kung saan po, hanggang saan po yung ililipad ng bamboo propeller. And then try a more aggressive spin, mas mabilis. And then observe kung saan po yung height na, yung maximum height na na-achieve nung flight ng bamboo propeller. Okay? And what you will observe with that experiment or with that activity is that kapag mas aggressive or mas if you have faster spin, the propeller would fly in greater heights. Okay? So, yun po yung bullet 4 na ito. So, the amount is proportional in the change in momentum. Basically, the speed of the spin. Ayan, may tanong po si Ma'am Ikit Chan. Nakita ko lang po. Will it depend sa length ng paper? I think Ma'am Ikit is referring to yung part po na ito. Hindi naman po, ma'am, as long as hindi po ganun kahaba po yung paper. So, may tinatawag naman po tayong too long paper. So, if it's too long, then ang mangyayari po is magkakaroon ka po ng mas malaking weight kaysa sa lift. So, hindi po magiging upwards yung hindi niyo po ma-observe yung upward direction. Okay? So again, if too long yung paper, then that means greater yung mass, greater yung weight. If the weight is greater than the lift, then hindi niyo po ma-observe yung upward motion. Okay? So there are other activities that you can do with the bamboo propeller. Pwedeng project design, pwedeng investigatory project, or just activities to challenge your students. So first example is to determine the effect of spin on the flight of height of bamboo propeller. Ito po yung sinasabi ko kanina. So you can do a comparison on the flight height of the bamboo propeller to try to spin the bamboo propeller with different speed. Also, you can make a propeller that flies when it is spun counterclockwise or clockwise, depende po dun sa unang nagawa ng mga estudyante. So this is a design project. 3, make a propeller with a different angle of attack and find out how this affects the flight of the propeller. So if you're not familiar with the angle of attack is basically the angle between yung plane po nung wing and then the horizontal axis. Okay? So it's basically yung angle ng pagka-tilt po nung wings. And the fourth one, this should be 4, find out the angle of attack where the propeller will fail to provide lift. Okay, so yun po, pwedeng bago-baguhin yung angle of attack and then find the angle wherein the lift will start to decrease. Okay, so that's for the bamboo propeller. Again, as you can see, you cannot, aside from using the bamboo propeller as a demonstration, as an aid for demonstrating physics concepts, you can also use it as a material for your experiments or investigatory projects or investigation projects. Okay, so that's for toy 4. That's this first toy for this session. The second toy is kite. Okay, so kite flying is popular game among Filipino children, not only among Filipino children, but also for among adults. It is usually done during the dry season, which spans from January until May. Pero sa panahon po natin ngayon, medyo nagbabago na rin po, no? Umaabot na ng July yung dry season. This game is also a popular adult sport in other countries such as United States, Korea, Japan, and Malaysia. So yung sa mga records, ang unang usage po ng kite aside from entertainment is in military purposes. But in 1749 and 1800s, up to 1800s, ginamit din po siya for scientific experiments. In 1749, Alexander Wilson used them to measure the temperature of all atmosphere at different altitudes. In 1752, Benjamin Franklin used kites to conduct electricity from lightning down to a wet line and to an object on the ground. So basically, parang nag-harvest po siya ng energy dito, no? In 1890s, William Eddy's kites were used to bring the meteorological equipment in the atmosphere, which contributed to the advancement of weather forecasting. Okay, so in making the kite, hindi po tayo gagawa ng kite ng ganito, no? Yung medyo complicado. But you can also use that in your class. But for this session, ang gagawin lang po nating kite is the simplest kite, which can be made of old newspaper or magazine. So, and it is called Boca Boca. Okay, so all you need to do is to fold a paper and tie some string on it. Okay, so ang materials po na kailangan ay a piece of paper and then a pair of scissors to punch holes and then string po. 1.5 meter string. So first is, hindi ko na po ide-demo to kasi medyo intuitive naman po yun. Maganda naman po yung illustration natin dito. So if you fold the paper like this along the broken lines, so 6.4 centimeter from the edge. So once you fold that, you fold this part again as shown in this figure. So magkakaroon na po kayo ng ganitong type ng ganito po. So parang ganito po yung itsura nung magiging folded paper natin. Okay, so once you have that, you've done with that, you punch 2 holes on the edges. Dito po sa part na to. Okay, so using pair of scissors or punching holes, you punch 2 holes on both edges, and then tie strings po dito. Okay, so tie each end of a 20 centimeter string through each hole, punch on both edges of the paper, then get a long string about 1.5 meter long and tie one end to the midpoint of the shorter string. So trinay ko po siya sa electric fan ko kanina. And medyo nagfa-fly po siya pero medyo unstable kasi yung electric fan hindi po ganun ka-uniform yung binibigay niyang stream of air. So what you can do is, yung suggestion po is to do this activity in an open field. Okay, outdoors. You do this outdoors. So this should be done when the wind is light to gentle. The wind is light when the leaves rustle and the wind vanes moves. It is gentle when the branches sway or flags on the pole are extended. So kung masyadong mahangin po, hindi po ganun, hindi po ideal din para sa kite flying. So how to play with the toy? First is stand with your back against the wind. So first you determine the direction of the wind. You stand facing the direction of the wind. Okay, so which means you're standing with your back against the wind. Then hold the string of boka-boka and target it to pull the kite upwards so that it is slightly tilted. The kite's underside should face the wind and make the string taut when the kite starts to climb. So that's how you play with the toy. So para kanino po ulit to? So same po siya sa bamboo propeller, grades 8 and 12 under the content lift, Bernoulli's principle, and Newton's third law of motion, with a performance standard na to develop a written plan and implement Newtonian Olympics. So the same din po yung learning competencies to infer that when a body exerts a force on another, an equal amount of force is exerted back on it. Then apply Bernoulli's principle whenever appropriate to infer relation involving pressure, elevation, speed, and flux. So the skills you can develop here with your students are observing and inferring. Okay? As for the learning activity, ang kailangan nyo lang po is yung boka-boka. Okay? Again, since ang concept po behind kite is Bernoulli's principle at saka Newton's laws of motion. So in demonstrating or teaching Bernoulli's principle, you can use activities 1 and 2 in the bamboo propeller toy to demonstrate yun nga po, yung Bernoulli's principle. Okay? So apart from that, yung activities 1 and 2, you can do this as well, yung learning activity, isang learning activity in the book, wherein yung activity is to teach students how to fly a kite while learning. Okay, so ito po yung flow ng activity. So determine the direction of the wind, hold the flying line or the boka-boka while you are facing the wind. So there are two scenarios here. First is you face the wind, and then the second one is you stand back against the wind. Okay, so again, yung activity po na ito, tinuturuan natin yung mga bata paano mag-fly ng kite. At the same time, we are teaching them how to properly or successfully fly a kite. I mean, while teaching them how to successfully fly a kite, we're teaching them the concepts behind it. Okay, so there are two scenarios. Yung one is facing the wind, and the one is standing with their backs against the wind. So you can ask, was the kite lifted? Ano po yung scenario na lilipad yung kite? Sa tingin niyo po, yung scenario 2 or yung scenario 3? Is it in this part where the student face the wind, or dun sa part na the student stand with their back against the wind? Tama po, Ma'am Ikit. Against the wind po dapat. Okay, so after that, what was the position of the kite as you lifted the line? So, tinatanong po kung paano nyo i-launch yung kite. Is it in this direction? Is it tilted? Or is it vertically standing like this? Mga ganun po yung mga tanong. So, in this question, so yung tanong po dyan, yung sagot po dyan is, yes, when you stood with your back against the wind. Yan, against the wind po dapat. And then, ano yung position? It should be tilted. Yan po yung kailangan nyong i-highlight sa discussion na to. So, dapat yung position na kite, the position of the kite as the student lift the line should be tilted. Okay? And then, after that, you can ask what makes the kite go up. So, dito na po papasok yung explanation. Again, dapat po the kite should be tilted at a certain angle. Okay? So, dapat non-zero po yung angle of attack natin. Okay? Yung angle po ng paper plane ay nung kite with respect to the horizontal. So, this is the explanation. You can use Bernoulli's principle or the Newton's third law of motion. Okay? So, this is for the Bernoulli's principle. As the wind deflects downward, the air passing on the top of the curve move faster. So there's a faster movement of air here. If you have faster movement of air, then the pressure here is smaller, okay, than the pressure below the kite. Okay, so lower pressure, higher pressure, there's a pressure difference, and because of that pressure difference, meron kang net force or net force in the upward direction, and that is the lift. Okay? So, yung explanation naman po sa Newton's laws of motion, as the wind deflects downward, the air experiences, parang ganun din po sa propeller, the experiences a downward force. As a reaction, it lifts the kite upward. Okay? So, action-reaction. Ayan, tama po, Ma'am Joanne. Palihis po dapat yung orientation. Okay? So, yun po yung importante, palihis. Kasi nga, kapag palihis po, ang movement po ng air here would be faster. Kapag po horizontal lang po yung orientation ng kite natin, wala po tayong ma-observe na significant pressure difference because of that. Okay? So, yun po yung explanation. You can also explain that using the concept of angle of attack. Na-discuss ko na din po yan kanina. Big kites are tossed upward in a tilted manner. This is to deflect the wind underneath the kite. So, the lift of the kite is affected by the way the kite tilts. Kite flyers call this angle of attack. Kailangan tilted po, palihis. Yan, you can also use this opportunity to ask your students on their knowledge about types of forces. Okay, yung skill po nila on identifying forces of a system. So say for example, for this kite, ano po aside from lift and weight, ano pa po yung ibang forces acting on the kite? Okay, here in this part, you're assessing their knowledge on or their skill in identifying the types of forces acting on the system. Sige po. Ito po yung mga discussion na pwede nating ilagay kapag i-facilitate kapag gumagamit po tayo ng kite. Ano po, bigyan ko po kayo ng 1 minute to answer. Ano po yung ibang forces aside from lift at weight yung nag-a-act sa kite? Sabi po ni Sir Marvel, tension from the string. Yes, that is one of the forces. Aside from that, yes, tama po Ma'am Hazelyn, air resistance or what we call drag force or drag. Okay, yung tension comes from the string and the drag force comes from air resistance. And when all forces acting on a kite cancel each other, meaning the net force is 0, the kite becomes stable. So, yun po, kapag nag-fly lang po siya on its own and it seems like it is stationary, then that means all these forces are canceling each other. So, ito po yung teaching tips. Nasabi ko na po kanina, since we're talking about Bernoulli's principle, you can use perform the activities 1 and 2 in the bamboo propeller to demonstrate the concept of Bernoulli's principle. Another tip is these activities should be done outside the classroom when the wind is light. Okay, so ayaw po natin nung harsh na wind condition kasi may turbulence na po yan. So, hindi po ideal for kite flying since baka po hindi maging stable po yung position nung kites natin. So, may turbulence kapag aggressive po yung wind condition natin. Okay, so that's for Toy 5. And for Toy 6, which is yung paper plane, okay, so alam naman po natin lahat ito. The paper plane is a toy that that always amazed children. It can be of different designs. So depende po sa folding techniques na ginagamit natin ng iba't iba pong disenyo na pwede nating gawin. So ito po yung sinasabi ko po kanina na toy making facilitates creativity among our students. So flying a toy plane is easy, but the explanation of the principle of its flight is difficult for children to understand. Okay, so yung concept po behind this is Bernoulli's principle. So how to make the toy? Ito po yung toy na cardboard. Gumagamit ng cardboard. So i-assemble nyo mo lang po yun. Medyo madali lang. You just insert the wing dun sa body. Then after that, you insert the nose cone on the front notch. Pero hindi po yan yung gagawin natin. Ayan. So we can also make a paper plane by just folding a paper. Okay, so ito po yung mga steps on how to make a paper. So this model is called the arrow type paper plane kasi mukha po siyang arrow. And kung may paper po kayo dyan, you can make your own paper plane at home. So pwede nyo po akong sabayan. Ayan. So, nandyan naman po yung mga steps, no? So, let's just follow that. Ayan. Lagay ko lang po dito. So, first is fold your paper exactly in half long ways. Ganito po. Okay. Pwede nyo po akong sabayan, no? Yeah. So, that's step 1. You just fold it. Okay. So, then fold each corner in towards the center. It's like this. Okay, so ito po yung second step. And then the third step is fold the paper down on each side so that the inside edges line up with the center crease. So So, parang ganito po. I-fold po ulit natin inwards, inward. It's like this. Kita po ba? Ayan. Ayan. So, do it also the other side. Okay. So, ito na po dapat yung output after 3 steps. Okay. So, the fourth step is turn the paper airplane over. So, babaliktad po natin and fold it in half along the center line. So, ganyan po. So, medyo mukhang airplane na po siya, no? Then, for fifth, hold the first wing with the line of the fold running nearly parallel to the center line of the plane. Make this fold from 1/2 to 1 inch from the center. So, parang ganyan po siya. Okay, we fold it again. Ayan. Then, ganyan na po siya. Okay? So, as you can see, meron ka lang, parang arrow lang po siya na paper plane. Okay. Okay, so how to play with the tea? Madali lang po. You just toss it in the air. Okay, but very crucial po yung part na you should toss it forward on a slightly upward angle. Okay, so parang ganito po. So some designs of the paper plane allow it to be launched almost straight up. The paper plane will usually flip at the top of their path and glide a long distance before reaching the ground. Some paper planes fly in an acrobatic style depending on how you throw it. In case the paper plane flies poorly at first, check the fold. All creases should be tight, accurate, and symmetrical. So you can use this for grade 12, Bernoulli's principle pa rin po. Same competencies, and the skills are observing, comparing, and inferring. So since Bernoulli's principle po ito ulit, you can use again the activities 1 and 2 in bamboo propeller toy to demonstrate Bernoulli's principle, to demonstrate that moving air exerts lower pressure. Yun po. And then apart from that, you can do this activity similar with the kite. You're just instructing your students to properly or to successfully fly an airplane. So hold the base of the paper plane and throw it horizontally. So repeat step 1, but this time toss the paper plane slightly tilted upward. Again, we have 2 scenarios wherein the paper plane is thrown horizontally and the other one is it is thrown or launched slightly tilted upward. Ano po yung scenario na magbibigay sa atin ng na makakapagpa-fly ng paper plane? And as I said, nabanggit ko na yan po kanina, na it should be slightly tilted upward. Okay, so you can ask this question, did the paper plane fly? Yes. What do you think made the paper plane fly? Then you can use the Bernoulli's principle to explain that. Then what do you think makes the paper plane drop to the ground? So here are the key concepts, the Bernoulli's principle, and then to answer question number 3, a paper plane starts to fall when the wings can no longer create the lift. So it has something to do with the speed of the plane or the angle of attack. Okay? So, ito po yung forces acting on the plane. You have again, the lift, the weight, the lift due to the pressure difference, the weight because of the mass, gravitational force, the drag due to air resistance, and the thrust, which come from the force exerted by the thrower. Okay? So ito po yung discussion ulit. Ulit ko lang na there is a pressure difference. Kailangan tilted siya upward kasi we want that the air above the the wing of the plane has higher velocity. Kapag higher yung velocity, according to Bernoulli's principle, less yung pressure, so low pressure. So comparing yung pressure above and below, there's a pressure difference with the above surface having a lower pressure. So which means there's a net upward force called the lift. Yun po. And this is ideas for investigation. So you can use paper plane as well for say, for example, a research project, an investigatory project, or a design project. Okay, so ito po yung first one is the optimal launch angle for maximum flight distance, airtime, and flight height. So, yun po, ito po ay ano po yung angle at which you launch your paper plane para magkaroon ka ng paper plane na magta-travel with with the longest distance or with the longer airtime or higher flight height. You can also use different paper plane design and investigate the effect of that on the flight distance. So ito po yung mga ibang paper plane design. Parang heart shape po siya. Ito parang stealthy type ng paper plane. Ganun po. So the other one is the effect of paper plane design on the trajectory of paper plane. Kung yung path taken of the paper plane. So here, maybe your students will film the flight of the paper plane and then doon po sila magdi-discuss ng science behind that. So that's for the last toy po for this webinar series. And just to wrap it up, na-discuss ko na po to from the previous session that toys can be used in many ways. So toys can be used as devices that draw students' attention to a new concepts, can be used also as mnemonic devices to help students remember concept. And as in this session, ito yung highlight ng session na to, can be used as tools for experimentation and problem solving. So may mga times, kahit simple lang yung toy, you can use that to have an experiment or to investigate a particular topic, ganun po. And lastly, toys can be used as visual aids to simplify a difficult concept. And lastly, we use toys because it's relatively inexpensive, it is reusable, it is easy to use, it requires little setup time, and it piques student interest. So, ang gusto ko lang pong i-point out dito ay using toys as a teaching aid provides low-tech, high-touch learning experience. Ano pong ibig sabihin ng low-tech, high-touch? Low-tech because we are only using simple materials to teach a particular concept. We don't use gadgets. And it is high-touch because our students have hands-on experience in learning that concepts. They are, nagagamit po nila, hawakan po nila, kasali po sila dun sa activity. So they are a part of the learning process. They learn as they perform activities. So hence, low-tech, high-touch. So I hope that this webinar series inspired you to develop lessons that utilize toys because there's a lot of benefits that come with it. And that is all. Thank you po for coming. Thank you po for listening.
Maraming salamat, Sir Jobeth, sa pagbabahagi mo ng mga laruang ito na maaring magamit ng ating mga kapwa-guro sa kanilang pagtuturo. So mga kasama, ang ibinahagi po sa atin ni Sir Jobeth ngayong hapon na ito ay ang mga laruang bamboo propeller na tiyak ay nalaro rin natin minsan sa ating pagkabata o siguro sa pagtuturo natin ng physics. Pinakilala rin sa atin ng kite. Ayan. Siyempre, kilala na natin ito. At ibinahagi rin sa atin, Sir Jobeth, ang paper plane. So, yan po yung mga laruan na ibinahagi sa atin ni Sir Jobeth. Natuto po tayo ng ilang mga fundamental concepts in junior high school and senior high school physics. Ayan. So, Sa bahagi ito po ng ating session ngayong hapon na ito, ang Q&A, atin pong anyayahan si Ma'am Ivy Jan Simbala ng Philippine School Bahrain. Ayan. Ma'am Ivy, magandang hapon sa iyo.
Magandang hapon po, Sir Mike, Sir
Balita ko,
Jobeth,
mahirap
at
ka raw
saka sa mga
magpa-quiz.
kasama. Ay, hindi. Sino nagsabi
Di ba?
ko?
Oo. Kasi baka mag-isa
Baka
si Sir
magpa-quiz.
Jobeth.
Ay.
Hindi, syempre
Magandang
mabait si
umaga
Ma'am
mga
Ivy.
kasama. Mabait naman. Hindi naman
Opo.
akong magtatanong ngayon. Babasahin ko lang yung mga tanong ng ating mga kasamahan para masagot ni
Ayan.
Sir
Umaga
Jobeth.
pa rin pala dyan, Ma'am Jan, si
Umaga
Ma'am
po.
Ivy, ano?
Oo, 11:24 pa lang dito ng umaga. Kaya medyo maaga-aga pa ng konti kumpara dyan.
Umaga pa rin.
Magandang umaga po
Ayan.
sa inyong lahat, mga kasama.
Oo.
Sir Jobeth, napakaganda po ng ating session na to. Marami po akong natutunan. Actually, akong saan-saan po ako naghagilap ng mga props ko din kasi habang tinuturo mo, I was trying to do it on my own. Talagang bumabalik tayo sa pagkabata sa naging session natin na ito. So, maraming salamat, Sir Jobeth. Idagdag ko lang dun sa kite. Actually, ginagamit ko din yan sa math, pagtuturo ng math, lalo na sa grade 9. Kasi halos magkasunod na topic yung sa quadrilateral. So sa third quarter, gumagawa na kami ng kite. Sa fourth quarter, sa lesson namin ng trigonometry, doon namin siya pinapalipad actually para i-measure kung gaano kataas using the concept of right triangle trigonometry. Maganda ito kasi natututo at nagiging masaya ang klase, hindi nagiging boring kapag gumagamit tayo ng mga laruan sa pagtuturo.
Ma'am Ivy,
may mga tanong.
Ibig sabihin,
Yes,
nagamit ito mga laruan nito sa dalawang subject, physics at saka trigonometry?
Oo, kasi pwede bukas, di ba, malalaman natin kung paano natin i-connect sa iba't ibang mga learning areas, yung mga concept to. So, makikita natin baka may connection ng mga naituro ni Sir Jobeth ngayon sa mga ibang topics o sa mga ibang learning areas, kung paano natin yung interconnectivity ang mga learning areas. Kasi maganda rin na nakikita ng mga bata na ang lahat ng natututunan nila sa klase ay may connection sa isa't isa.
Ayan, Ma'am Ivy, mabuti na banggit mo yan, napakagandang
may
preview niyan para sa webinar session natin bukas, tungkol po sa articulation, across disciplines, yung connection, yung interconnectedness ng mga konsepto na ito across disciplines ang tumbok naman ng ating webinar session bukas. Pero ngayon, Ma'am Ivy, mukhang nagdadagsaan na po ang mga tanong. Aling tanong po ang unahin natin,
May mga tanong
Ivy?
na ba?
Ang tanong ko, Ma'am Ivy, saang competency po, or anong competency po, ano po yung curriculum entry point po nito sa nabanggit nyo kanina na lesson?
Sa math?
Sa math at sa physics po.
Sa math, ay ikino-connect ko ito sa pag-compute ng elevation na nare-reach ng kite. Yung pinakamataas na elevation niya, kung anong trigonometric function ang pwedeng i-apply para ma-compute without having to actually use mga ruler or meter stick kasi napakataas na nun. So it's not possible for you to measure how high it goes, pero through trigonometry pwede nating ma-estimate. Yun
cool.
Yung sa
ang galing. Ang husay. Sir Jobeth, ano mga...
i-connect ni Sir Jobeth yan sa physics.
Oo. Sir Jobeth, sa physics, ano po yung mga curriculum entry points nito? Ulit, nabanggit niyo po ito kanina, pero para lang po maidugtong natin sa kwento ni Ma'am Ivy Jan, ano po ulit ang curriculum entry point nito, na mga larong ito?
Basically po, may dalawa po, yung Newton's laws of motion at saka po yung Bernoulli's principle. Yung Newton's laws of motion ay tinuturo sa grade 8 at yung Bernoulli's principle po ay tinuturo po sa senior high or under General Physics 1 or 2 po.
Sa physics, Sir Jobeth, anong skills, anong mga student skills po ang nade-develop or ang gusto natin na ma-develop gamit sa pagtuturo ang mga laruang ito?
Personally, Sir Mike, ang ang gusto naming ine-inculcate sa mga student namin ay ang physics ay kailangan may critical thinking. So ang hino-hone po namin na skill is yung problem solving. So hindi po kami masyadong nagbibigay ng mga questions na magpa-plug and play ka lang sa mga equations, ganon. More on yung mga activities will challenge their critical thinking or their
Right.
skill on how to solve a problem. Kasi yun po yung mas
Problem
importante.
solving, ano?
Ano yung mga solution na pwedeng gawin or paano yung mga approach na pwedeng gawin or i-implement para magawa ito.
Tama. Ayan, syempre kasama rin dyan, Sir Jobet, yung mga observing skills, comparing, making inferences, predictions, controlling variables.
Yes po. Yun po,
At saka,
apart from that.
syempre, lahat ng mga ito ay bahagi rin ng skill ng pagkakandak ng scientific investigations. Ma'am Ivy, sa math naman, anong mga math skills ang pwedeng ma-develop gamit ang mga laruang ito sa pagtuturo?
Parehas din halos ang mga process skills kasi ng science, halos hindi naiiba sa math. Andun pa rin yung critical thinking skills, yung inquiry skills ay nade-develop sa mga bata. Yung pag-control ng mga variables kasi napakahalaga nito. So, kapag nagturo tayo using toys, hindi lang paglalaro ang naibabahagi natin sa mga, it makes the learning more fun and it makes the learning more meaningful kasi pinapasok natin yung mundo ng mga bata. Sa pamamaraan nito ay nakikita nila na habang naglalaro sila ay may natututunan. So doon na-develop yung mga basic skills na kinakailangan nila, hindi lamang sa loob ng classroom pero hanggang sa paglaki nila.
Ang husay, bata or grade school man, o kaya senior high school or junior high school or senior high school, naglalaro pa rin, tayo rin, syempre. Siguro kahit anong edad yan, from 1 to 92, sabi nga ng isang kanta,
100.
100, Ayan, Ma'am Ivy, may tanong po ba kayo sa naging bahagi sa pagbabahagi ni Sir Jobet?
Wala naman naging klaro ang pinakagusto ko dito ay naipakita ni Sir Jobet kung saang parte ng ating curriculum pwedeng ipasok yung mga activities na to. At sa tingin ko ito yung mga kailangan ng mga guro kasi minsan marami tayong mga iniisip kung paano maging mas masaya ang mga bata sa pagkatuto. At sa pamamagitan ng session na to, nakita natin na while these toys are very ordinary, pero nakita natin na pwede nating magamit at maraming modifications na pwedeng gawin. It can be used for 1 or 2 or more learning concepts na pwede nating ibigay sa mga bata. Napapaisip nga ako kasi sa second semester, iniisip ko kung anong mga possible na toys ang pwede nating gawin. Kung pwede ko lang ibahagi. Sa ngayon, meron kaming parang winter break project. Gumagawa kami ng mga estudyante ko ng steamboat, pop-up boats. Nice. So sa January, magkakaroon kami ng parang race boat competition kung sino yung pinaka malayo ng mararating ng aming mga boat. At ito'y gamit lang ng karton at saka ng kandila. So yun yung mga ibabahagi ko ito sa ating kasama website kapag medyo maayos-ayos na yung ginawa ng mga bata. So abangan po
ninyo. Ang husay. Ayan, antabayanan po natin yan. Yung pagbabahagi na yan ni Ma'am Ivy ng mga laro rin na ginagamit nila sa pagtuturo ng science and math sa Philippine School Bahrain. May tanong dito, Ma'am Ivy, mula kay Ma'am Ikip Chan. Such interesting and engaging way to learn physics concepts. Ang tanong ni Ma'am, does it mean we can explore the possibility of introducing this to LM students? Last week, Sir Jobeth, may mga laro tayo na intended for LM students, right? Pero tingin ko pwede rin, Sir Jobeth?
Yes, Sir Mike. Actually, may madami ding mga laruan na pwedeng gamitin for teaching elementary physics. Kasi nga po, dun sa bagong curriculum natin, as early as grade 3, ini-introduce na yung konsepto ng force. So, pwede po natin, gaya po nung nabanggit ko po nung nakaraang linggo, pwede po tayong gumamit ng magic slate, pick up sticks to discuss or to introduce the concept of force to our students. So yun po, while they are playing, um, natututo din po sila. So yun po.
Sir Jobeth, pwede nating magamit ang mga laruang ito sa pagtuturo ng kahit anong science and math concept or basta tukoy lang yung competency, tukoy lang yung content standard, yung performance standard, alinsunod sa kung anong itinatakda sa curriculum guide. So kumbaga parang
Yes po,
depende sa treatment na lang, depende sa packaging natin, kung paano natin halimbawa itataas yung level ng pag introduce natin ng mga larong ito sa mga mag-aaral natin. Tama ba, Sir Jobeth?
Yes, Sir Mike. I agree po.
Ayan, Ma'am Ivy, merong ibinahagi dito si Sir Marvel Velarde. Sabi niya, yung improvised na catapult or launcher made from popsicle sticks ay maganda rin daw para sa discussion ng projectile motion. Ayan, Sir Jobeth, your thoughts on this? Improvised catapult daw.
Oh, pwede naman po, Sir. Sir Marvel. Actually,
Discussion
very
ng projectile motion.
Instead of buying yung, anong Tagalog po nun, Sir Mike? Yung
tirador.
Yung tirador. Yun. Pwede po din gumamit ng tirador for that. So, sa mga nasa probinsya, medyo pwedeng hiramin po yung mga nasa tito natin, instead of making it. Pero okay din po yung paggawa ng catapult using popsicle stick. Again, papasok po dito yung toy making activity na kung saan mas na-engage po yung mga estudyante natin.
Maganda yung bahagi ng toy making activity kasi kung halimbawa maglalaro lang sila ng Angry Birds for example para ituro ang projectile motion, ayun parang gadget pa rin yan, nakatutok pa rin sila sa mga device na ito. So maganda na may mga ganitong mga laruan at magandang balikan natin ang paggawa ng ganitong mga laruan nang sa gayon ay maihiwalay natin kahit paano ang mga bata sa kasalukuyang preokupasyon nila ang paggamit at paglalaro ng walang sawa sa kanilang mga gadget. Sabi naman ni Sir Gerald, si Sir Jobeth, may connect po ba yung paper activity kanina sa design ng roof ng mga bahay dito sa Pinas? Ayan, Sir Jobeth. Po yan kay Sir Gerald.
Sir Gerald.
Bedinwante, oo. Isa po siya sa resource speaker natin mula sa Philippine Science High School Diliman Main Campus. Diliman Main Campus. Okay. Nung mga nakaraang mga serye natin. Ayan. Sir Jobeth, your thoughts on this?
Hindi ko masagot, Sir Mike, no? Sir Gerald, sorry po. More on, parang nasa engineering side po kasi ito eh. Pero
ito, Sir Jobeth. May pagpapaliwanag si Sir Gerald dito para po hindi liparin or hindi gumuho pababa yung roof.
Para po siguro...
Sige, Ivy.
Hindi ko po ma-connect eh. Wait lang, isipin ko pa po muna.
Kasi parang dun sa explanation ni Sir Jobeth kanina, kung mabilis ang speed ng mga molecules, mas mababa ang pressure. So kung halimbawa sa isang bahay, at pag may masyadong mahangin sa labas halimbawa, at sa loob ay walang masyadong galaw ang mga air molecules o mga air particles, ay mas mag-build up ng pressure sa loob. So ang tendency ay mas madali siyang mailipat. So siguro, tama ba ako, Sir Jerome, ng pagpapaliwanag? So possible siguro na kapag masyadong mahangin sa labas, maglagay lang ng konting vent para makapasok ang konting hangin at magkaroon din ng movement para bumilis ng konti yung mga movement ng air particles sa loob para ma-even, ma-equalize kahit pa paano yung pressure sa labas at saka sa loob. Kasi nagkakaroon ng lift, yung kwento nga ni Sir Jovan, kapag masyadong mabilis yung speed sa labas, ay tataas ang pressure sa loob, magkakaroon ng pressure differential, so mas maililipad yung hangin.
Ayan. Maraming salamat sa iyong tanong, Sir Gerald. Ayan, sabi ni Sir Gerald, hindi ko pa rin alam yung sagot, pero tama si Sir Jobeth na engineering nga yung topic. Ayan, maraming salamat din sa pagbabahagi mo, Ma'am Ivy. Yes, Sir Jobeth?
Ayun po kasi Sir Mike, iniisip po kasi yung tanong ni Sir Gerald is with related dun sa shape. Kaya yung design po na sinasabi niya, kaya hindi ko po masyadong mai-connect. Pero tama po yung sinabi ni Ma'am Ivy na kapag mahangin sa labas, tapos medyo hindi mahangin sa loob, magkakaroon po ng difference in pressure or pressure differential. That's why pwede pong liparin yung bubong natin. Pero yung hindi ko po masagot right now is bakit patapsulok, parang ganun. Ano yung purpose nung tatsulok na ano. Kasi may mga bahay naman po na wala pong wala pong papasukan ng hangin eh. So baka di ko po alam. Baka po yung triangular shape ng houses ay to disrupt yung tawag dito, turbulence. Pag may turbulence po, baka para i-disrupt 'yon para less damage po sa mga bubong natin. Pero I'm not sure po. You may correct me on that.
Ma'am Ivy, you're saying something?
Baka may kinalaman sa streamlining kaya, Sir Jobet?
I'm not sure, Ma'am Ivy. Sa mga teachers po natin dito, pwede po kayo mag-share ng thoughts niyo para
Sir Jobet, Ma'am Ivy,
discussion.
Biology ang orientation ko, yun yung inclination ko. Tingin ko kapag ka mataas, medyo elevated yung bubong, medyo mas malamig sa loob. Anyway, sige, maghintay po tayo.
More on ventilation siya.
Maghintay po tayo ng tugon mula sa ibang mga kasama natin na narito ngayon sa session na ito. Maraming salamat sa iyong tanong, Sir Gerald, at maraming salamat sa inyong mga sagot, Sir Jobeth at Ma'am Ivy.
May isa pa
Ayan. Opo. Napag-uusapan, Sir Jobeth, itong angle of attack. Pwedeng pakipaliwanag ng bahagya kung ano itong angle of attack na ito?
Ayan. Wala po akong mahanap na parang book na di-discuss or specifically nagdi-discuss kung ano yung parang origin or etymology ng angle of attack. Pero may mga mahanap po kayo na mga discussion sites sa internet. So, yung angle of attack, again, to formally define it, is yung angle ng plane ng wing with respect to the horizontal. So, that's why nakatilt po parate yung mga wings to generate lift. So, yung angle of attack, I think, kaya siya attack kasi yung wing is basically as it moves towards to a certain direction, it parang inaatake niya yung streamline ng air. So, parang ganun po. So, parati po yung binabanggit
ng hangin.
sa design ng isang eroplano kasi nga po, yung angle of attack has something to do with the amount of lift na pwede mong gamitin. So, say for example, upon flight, yung sa initial flight po, ang angle of attack should be larger kasi kailangan natin ng mas mataas na lift. So, kapag tumaas na po yung eroplano, yung wing po ng eroplano natin ay slightly nawawala po yung angle of attack niya. So, parang may flap po siya dito. Yung flap adjusts such that yung angle of attack is smaller. Kasi kapag nasa taas na po, hindi na po natin kailangan ng masyadong mataas ng lift. Ang kailangan na po natin is thrust para makapag-move towards our destination. Ganun po.
Ayan. Sige, maraming salamat, Sir Jobeth. Ma'am Ivy, may mga tanong pa po dito?
Yes, may question pa si Sir Marvel. Sir Jobeth, will you recommend to attach the paper kite to bamboo sticks para po sana mas matibay kasi pang afternoon shift daw siya sa school and mostly mahangin na baka kasi masira kapag papel lang yung gamit. Kasi papel lang po yung ginamit kanina.
Yes po, Sir Marvel. Actually, okay po yan, no, Sir Marvel. Kasi yung mga typical kite naman po natin is made out of sticks, no? Yung mga pa-diamond. So, to add bamboo sticks on dun sa boka-boka, say for example, dito po, so dito po sa part na to, pwede po kayong maglagay ng bamboo sticks dyan just to provide additional structure to the kite. Okay? Yun po, kasi po, yun nga po, kapag mahangin, baka mag-ano lang po yung, masira lang po yung paper kite natin. So, to add bamboo sticks, that's a great suggestion, Sir Marvel, is to add structure and sturdiness to the kite po.
And thank you, Sir Jobeth, and thank you, Sir Marvel, for your question. There's a comment here from Sir Ryu, at mukhang kahalin tulad ito, ng tugon din kanina ni Ma'am Ivy, patungkol sa disenyo ng mga bukong. Sabi ni Sir Ryu, the design of the Shinkansen or bullet train is also tapered to avoid yung too much wind resistance at very high speeds. Kaya raw siguro tapered din ang mga bubong dito sa Pilipinas at maging siguro sa ibang bansa.
Oh.
Okay.
So,
Ayan.
Sino po? Si Liu Jae-yong. Ay, siya po si Sir Jo nung mga nakaraang webinar po natin.
Oh, hello po, sir.
Kilala mo siya, Ma'am Ivy?
Hindi.
Okay. Pero suki natin siya. Oo. Oo. Sige. Ma'am Ivy, sa pagtuturo mo ng physics at saka ng math, paano mo, may mga kwan ba? May mga kailangan ba? Magba-matter ba kung halimbawa yung mga material na ginagamit sa mga laruang ito ay kino-consider natin? Ang ibig ko sabihin, kung halimbawa i-reinvent natin yung paper plane and we use different materials, o kaya yung bamboo propeller, instead of using bamboo, we use other materials. Anong pwedeng doon? Anong pwedeng physics concepts ang pwede nating i-introduce sa pagbabago ng mga material nito or sa pagre-reinvent natin ng mga laruang ito?
Actually, isa din yan sa mga tanong ko kanina sa bamboo propeller ni Jobeth. Kasi wala kaming bamboo dito sa Bahrain. So,
mismo,
kung ano yung possible kung i-substitute para magawa ko pa rin yung activity na hindi mako-compromise yung concept na gusto ko sana i-do. So, yun siguro yung kailangan natin pag-isipan, availability, at saka kung ano yung, paano natin siya bibigyan ng isang substitute na the same competency at the same concept pa rin ang matutundo ng paggamit ng mga material.
Right. Sir Jobeth?
Same thoughts po, Sir Mike. Nakadepende po yan sa availability. So, say for example, kapag sa probinsya, yung bamboo sticks, hindi naman po masyadong scarce po yan, no? Pero kapag nasa city po tayo, medyo mahirap po yung hanapin. So that's why, dun po sa National Bookstore, sa bookstore po, nakapaghanap po ako ng yung popsicle sticks. Yan. Tapos, pinagdikit-dikit ko na lang po so that pwedeng mag-carve to produce a bamboo propeller po. Yung propeller po mismo.
Natapos mo ba yan, Sir Jobeth? Nagawa mo ba yan?
Hindi ko po maikabit yung handle. Hindi po ganun kagaling yung craftsmanship ko eh.
Ayan. Sige, maraming salamat, Sir Jobeth, sa pagbabahagi mo ngayong hapon na ito. At maraming salamat din, Ma'am Ivy, sa pagsama mo sa amin dito sa Q&A.
Thank you din po at maraming salamat din, Sir Jobeth. Marami po akong natutunan ngayong araw na to at saka nung nakaraan. Kapag natapos mo po yung popsicle na propeller mo, i-share mo naman po sa amin para magawa
din po.
Maraming salamat
po, Ma'am Ivy.